quick shout out before we get started to Parthmore Paranormal and to UFO Angie Rick. If you haven't checked out their channel, go ahead and check out their channel and tell them Exploring with Ash and Jake sent you. Today, I want to do something that I don't normally do on my TikTok and YouTube channel, and that is I wanted to share something because this happened to me. The hidden truth about car scams. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you've purchased your own car. I'm going to share a short thesis that I wrote for college and tell you how I got scammed by a car dealership and how most of us are unknowingly being scammed by car dealerships around the world. Buying a car is one of the most biggest financial decisions that you will ever make in your lifetime, and yet one of the most confusing, manipulative, and misleading experiences out there. What they don't tell you, especially from the car sales industry, now I'm in sales, so I'm not crapping on anybody who's in sales before anyone jumps in the comments and says that to me, but the car sales industry can be very sketchy. Shopping for a car can feel like a big legal scam, and that's because in so many ways it is. Salespeople in the car industry are trained to sell you cars, but they're also trained to sell you all the extras, including warranties, service packages, paint protection, tire coverage, gap insurance, and a random fix-it kits. They are often pushed onto buyers who don't seem to understand what they're buying. These extras are added to the loan quietly and tacked onto your monthly payments and disguised as protection or standard coverage. But the reality is, the more they sell you, the more money that they make, not only because you don't need it, but because it boosts their commission. For example, when I bought my 2023 Kia Seltos, they tried to sell me a fix-it kit worth over $300. Now, if you can do your own work on your car, you don't even need any of this stuff. And most of the time, the regular fix-it kits don't even cover your car's warranty. And most cars come with a warranty that is for 1 year. So that covers most of the stuff that you fix. So when you buy extra coverage on your car, like tune-ups, it cancels out the warranty, but they won't tell you that. So I'm kind of at a loss as I'm paying off my $37,000 car. Mind you, Kias don't hold their value, they lose value, and they're not worth buying. The minute you drive it off the lot, the value goes down. So I'm really frustrated. Any of you frustrated? I had to ask several times before they explained to me that it was optional, but still did not include any of the extra stuff that I was looking at. The catch is that they make money. They prey on you and most people to not ask questions. A fast-talking salesperson, when they are excited and desperate to make a sale, they're not going to disclose all this to you. Transparency is almost non-existent with dealerships. Rarely have I ever seen any transparency when buying a car. They won't give you a breakdown of the charges, fees, taxes, dealership add-ons. Why would they? They make money off of scamming you into purchasing all these extra things that you think that you need on your car, such as, but not limited to, documentation fees, window etching, the VIN registration. Any way that they can becomes a new way to squeeze $1 out of you. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I hope everyone's having a great day. What makes it worse is the average person has no idea that they are being scammed by car dealerships all over, Ford, Kia, just all over, because their paycheck depends on keeping you in the dark. The system is built to benefit them, not us. It's a professional side hustle wrapped in paperwork that you sign with a pen. If the car industry was truly about helping people, they'd be up front. They have a clear list in hand, and every single thing that they try to sell you is optional but not necessary. Salespeople are some of the slickest people that I know, and it's really freaking unfortunate. We are just a paycheck on wheels for people who work in the car industry and in sales. I work in sales, so I'm not dissing anybody, but I am going to go over something that they didn't talk about when I went to the car dealership. Let's see if I can pull this up. And now you can access this. This is located on the internet, but they add on things like extended car warranty and vehicle service contracts. Now, what that means is just basically you think that when you go to a dealership that it's going to cover if your car gets into an accident. It doesn't. It covers them to change your oil filter, car rotation of your tires, and for them to put air in your tires. But anything extra that happens, your warranty doesn't even cover that. So it's kind of bullshit to buy the extended warranty and vehicle contract. Also, they will try to sell you gap insurance. Gap insurance is if you get into a car accident and you get hit or someone hits you, it's not worth buying it through the dealership because it's $200 to $300 more than if you just went through your own insurance company. Paint and fabric protection. So if your car basically gets scratched or it's starting to rust, they already put a coating on your car when you purchase it. So it's not even worth buying that from them. Hello to the newbies in the comments. We're talking about purchasing cars and how the car industry scams us. Also, the VIN etching that is on your door, they will try to sell you a service fee for that. Now, the VIN number is so if your car ever gets stolen, they can basically trace where it is. The VIN number, you don't have to pay extra for that, but they will try to get you on that in your contract. So it's good to know these kinds of things. They also will try to sell you nitrogen air for your tire. And it's $200 to $300 more to have that put in your tire. It doesn't do anything different than regular air. It's just cheaper to get regular air put in your tires. Also, key protection plans. So most cars are keyless. They have a key fob that basically stops people from stealing your car that you just click and your car turns on. Don't buy a key protection plan through the dealership. Go to like O'Reilly's or AutoZone. It's like $40, $50 to buy a key replacement plus the battery. So by the time you're done, you're looking at like $60 versus $300, $400 to get an extra set of keys from your dealership. It's not worth it. Maintenance plans. So most maintenance plans that they try to sell you in your contract of all the 50 plus things that you're initialing in your contract, you don't need a maintenance plan. If you can change your oil, if you can change your filter, if you can take off your tires and rotate them, you don't even need all that because all a maintenance plan does is cover an oil change, an oil filter, and rotation of the tires. It doesn't even cover anything else. So you're paying them $200 to $300 a month in your overall breakdown of the plan for your car payment, and these things are completely unnecessary. These are literally hidden fees that they will try to talk you through like an auctioneer, but they will not go sit there and break down or explain anything. It's wild. Yes, I have a lip piercing. That's what it is. See? It's a piercing. Instead of it being in my like nose or eyebrow, it's in my lip. Mind you, I regret getting it because it low-key, it hurt and it bled like a bitch when I had it. But that's a story for another time. And I actually almost passed out when they gave me my lip piercing. Lesson learned on that. I don't recommend getting it. I'm actually working on getting it removed because I don't know if you can see this right here, but it puts a gap in your teeth because the metal scrapes up and down. But when I got it, I was like 16 and I thought I was cool. Mind you, it was probably one of the worst decisions I ever made to get a lip piercing. I don't recommend it. It was like $60, but I still don't recommend it. They will also try to charge you for dealer prep fees for the paperwork. All of that's already supposed to be included in your paperwork, but they will get you on that if you don't go through and read everything. I'm just now finding this out after sitting there and closing the deal on my car. It's not quite paid off. I've got like another 6 years, but $37,000 is what they charged me for my 2023 Kia Seltos. They lose their value. They're not worth it once you drive them off the lot. And you have to go in there and know what you're doing. You have to ask them for a clean out the door price without all the optional add-ons when you're purchasing your car. Because if you don't, they're going to add all this other BS that I'm reading you directly from a dealer's website into your contract, and you're not even going to know it, and you're going to be paying for all this extra stuff and you'll have no clue. Most people don't. They're like blind sheep when they go into a dealership to buy a car. Well, that's your opinion. I spend my money on what I want, Jim. I don't think my piercing affects my looks at all. The other thing that I want to talk about is window tinting. So unless your car comes manufactured with window tinting, it's not even worth getting it because it has to be tinted to a certain standard or you can actually be pulled over by your local police department. So don't even get window tinting. It's a waste of money. Low jack tracking devices. A lot of those are installed on your car and you're just paying for all this extra shit. That's basically what I'm saying. You're paying for all this extra shit, and if you don't pay attention, they make commission off of selling you all these extra things because they're going to try to talk through your contract really fast. And so what you want to do is you want to ask them for a individualized breakdown of every optional thing that they get commission on that they're charging you for. A lot of people will not ask this and they keep you in the dark about it. They're not going to advertise it because they make more money off of selling you each thing that I'm listing. Marketing and adjustment fees, they charge you for that too. It's just crazy that they're charging you for a vehicle that they're trying to sell you. It's wild. And it's not just Kia, it's Ford, it's Chevrolet, all the dealerships use the same tactics when they're selling you stuff. And so the best thing that you can do is say no to every add-on until you can review it, because oftentimes they're going to sell you you don't need. Be firm when you say no, because if you're not firm on your no, they will sell you the extra shit and put it in your contract anyway. Let's see, there's something else I was going to say. Oh, yes, you want to ask for a full breakdown. I can't stress enough. Ask for a full breakdown of every optional charge. By law, they are required, if you ask for it, to give it to you, and not a lot of people know that, but they won't give it to you unless you ask for it. I'm saying this because I went in there and they charged me $300 added into my overall cost of my vehicle for a fix-it tune-up kit, and that was being charged every single month. If you read your contract, some of them have the ability to, within 30 to 60 days of initiating your contract, if you didn't agree with it or agree to the terms by like initialing, signing, whatever they have you do, you can go back and you can cancel every extra thing that they added for. They literally had me up to $10,000+ in extra charges on my contract for my Kia simply by not asking questions. Now, you think by my age that I'm 37, you think by my age that I would know what to do and what to expect first time buying a car, but I really didn't. So it's good to do your research, ask questions, and come with a printout, because they will sell you these extra add-ons that you don't need. Again, I work in sales, so I'm not crapping on anybody who works in sales. It's their job to, secretly sell you all this extra bullshit that you don't need. All dealerships do that. Even Hyundai does that. It's not just Kia, it's not Ford, it's not just Chevrolet. All the dealerships do the same thing, where they add in sneaky charges and keep you in the dark. But yeah, it's just crazy. Wow, your comment is very inappropriate. Yeah, Jeep too. All of these companies do that. It's extremely frustrating when you go to the dealerships and they sell you extra stuff that you don't need, especially if you're on a budget and you're trying to pay off your car. All the extra charges, they really add up with the principal and the interest, and then your overall payment. Everything adds up. Your comment about drugs has no place in this comment section. It has nothing to do with videos or the fact that the car industry and salespeople are scamming people when they buy cars. That's a very inappropriate comment. So, funny story, I actually did buy a used car from a dealership out here called I5 Automotives. The problem was all of their cars were salvaged cars, which means that they've already previously been in an accident. And I went to take the car on a test drive. It was a Jeep, I think, that I was interested in buying. And the guy put stop leak in the engine. And the engine was leaking, had problems. I broke down like a half mile from the shop when taking the Jeep on a test drive. Returned it to him and tried out a station wagon. Station wagon, same thing, broke down a half mile from the shop. So I'm not big on used cars, especially considering that I've got a family of my own. I want a reliable car. Wow. Not sure what your comment has to do with cars. Yeah, you can get some good cars on Facebook Marketplace that are used, but you also have to worry about people trying to scam you. Um, I was looking at, I think it was a Yukon that someone had for sale prior to buying the Kia, and the person tried to scam me. So I went to take their car on a test drive, and then all sorts of check engine lights that they had shut off using a machine came on, and it was leaking oil. It was blowing smoke out the muffler. There was all kinds of problems. My grandpa, who recently passed away 2 years ago, who was a World War I and a World War II service person, taught me how to work on classic cars, and then my uncle taught me how to work on more modern cars. So I don't just take people at their word or their face value, because in this day and age, lots of people lie. Not everyone's a pathological liar, but a lot of people are, and they will try to make a quick buck in any way they can by selling you a car that might be a total lemon. And so when you have kids or a family, even if you don't, even if it's just your first car, you always have to be careful. Wow. Just so you know, those of you who are saying very inappropriate things in the comment section, YouTube does monitor your messages, and you need to stop. What kind of cars do you all drive? Your comment is not appropriate about kidnapping either. That has nothing to do with cars. Just so you know, YouTube is watching everyone who's commenting. I try to keep my cars pretty relevant. Like if they're not within the last 10 years, I don't buy them. Although, I will be honest, I was looking at a Chevy Bel Air recently because the person wanted about $7,000 for it. And I happen to really love Chevy Bel Airs. Funny story though, when I was a kid, I always thought that I'd grow up to have a yellow, bright yellow Oldsmobile. And I was at a car show recently. Those of you who watch my channel know that I like cars, classic cars especially. I always thought I'd grow up to have an Oldsmobile. But I ended up growing up to have a Terrain and then switched on to a Kia. But I still very much love classic cars and the feel of classic cars. Eventually, I do want to switch when my children are a little bit older to a Chevy Bel Air, just because I really like the trunk space, and I really like that the seats are wide and there's just a lot more space. Also, classic cars are built to last. The cars nowadays, they just aren't really built to last. I'm not really fond of the Kias. I mean, not just Kias, I'm not really fond of the newer cars, the Cybertrucks. Yeah, I don't really care for those. I've heard that they have a lot of them in back stock and people just aren't buying them. Wow, your comment is very inappropriate and degrading of women. It's actually exercise attire because I teach a Pilates class. Anyway, what kind of cars does everyone drive in the comments? I'm just curious what you all drive. Your comment's not appropriate. It's very degrading of women. I'm perfectly fine and I own my feminine energy, but I don't need a man to sit here and degrade me in the comments. You're probably single. That's probably why you're sitting behind a keyboard saying all the inappropriate things that you're saying. I feel really bad for your mother because I know she raised you to be better than that and have better manners than that. I don't drive, too paranoid. Paranoid about what? Yeah, yesterday I was coming back from a boxing class and I had seen an accident on the corner of Dana and Friendly Drive in my area, and I guess one had a green light, the other had a red light. They were not paying attention and they crashed into each other and then ricocheted off of a pole. And it was pretty awful. Like, the lady was really badly hurt, and she was laying behind her car when the ambulance and the fire truck came. Her car was on fire. It was pretty wild. We've had a lot of accidents, though, in our area recently, just because some people don't know how to drive. So I can totally understand that. I'm trying to read all your comments, but they seem to be going really fast. Shout out to everyone on here from Cali. I see a couple people from India on here. India is a really nice area. Wow. Some of you need to grow up. But let me know, have you all ever been scammed by a car dealership? 2002 Toyota Camry. That's a nice car. Actually, when I got out of high school, my mom owned a 2002 Camry. That was actually one of my very first cars. And anyway, that car ended up breaking down, but that was also like a 30-plus-year-old, something like that car. She didn't take very good care of it. And so when I ended up getting it as a hand-me-down, that car didn't last more than 6 months. I wonder if the person left the comments. I seen that there was somebody on here from India. I don't know. I think, like I said, I want to get a classic car. I'm more prone to classic cars. At one point, I had a Mustang. You know, well, this would have been like 1996, 97. My mom used to have an old school van. They were pretty cool, though. It had 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the second row, and then a third row just all the way across. And I always called it a kidnapper van. So it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's literally what they looked like back in the day. And today, I think vans like that would be considered a kidnapper van. Wow, your comment's very inappropriate. I'm not interested. But my dad used to drive a truck. I don't know if he still does. I think he drives something a little different now. But he used to have I think it was like an 87. Anyway, I liked it because it has a long truck bed. It was blue, kind of beat up. And then I think he traded it in. I think he has a Ford now, like a 4-door Ford F-150. Your comment is inappropriate. Your comment is sexually degrading of women, and you need to stop. Honestly, as I tell women, stay safe, eat cake. Fat women are harder to kidnap. Skinny twigs are easier to kidnap. I'm sure it is entertaining for you, your comments, but you're being very childish. Actually, it's not really revealing at all. It is literally sports attire. But I'm guessing some of you in the comments don't work out. So I wouldn't expect you to know what workout attire is. Wow. Yeah, I'm comfortable with who I am. I own my feminine energy. I don't see anything wrong with this. It's workout attire. Like I said, I teach a Pilates class. I also work in sales. So it is what it is. Okay. Anyone that is going to continue to be inappropriate, you're just going to be banned from the channel. So I asked this question. If you guys follow the channel, what is your favorite classic car that I've posted so far? Do you like Chevy Bel Airs? Do you like old school Fords? Do you like Mustangs? Do you like an Oldsmobile? Do you like something newer like Mazdas? What's everyone's favorite car? '73 Chrysler Newport Custom. Nice. What's your favorite detail on a car like that? Like I said, I own my feminine energy. I'm quite comfortable. I'm actually married, so your comment is inappropriate. Also, these are not welding glasses. These are just regular glasses. Literally, I cannot see without them. I would do contacts, but I don't like sticking stuff in my eye. And after I read the recent news story, I think it was like 3 months ago, about the girl who went to sleep with contacts in her eyes and forgot them. She woke up like blind. Yeah, I'm good. I'll stick to prescription glasses. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you have a Chrysler currently, or what kind of car do you have currently? I don't know. A lot of car dealerships are pulling out of America with all the tariffs and everything. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think you misspelled something. Did you mean a Toyota Corolla? Huh. Hello, I see a couple new people in the comments. We were just talking previously about how car dealerships and salespeople in their departments basically try to sell you extra crap for your car that you don't need, and it makes your overall monthly payments a lot more money, and they make commission on selling you these things, and it's hidden, so a lot of people don't know about that. So that's just like kind of like a recap of what I talked about for those of you who are new in the comments. Bentley Continental GT. See, I know a lot of cars, but I have not heard of that one. I am actually gonna look that one up while I'm talking to you. Oh, that's like a sportier car. That's kind of nice. I actually know a couple people here in our area that drive Bentleys. Most of them do are involved with like drag racing or racing in our area, because we have a privately owned racetrack in our area that, like on the weekends, has live races. And they'll race their cars, everything from Bentleys to classics to monster trucks and more. I actually haven't been to a drag race or a race in a minute. I like the colors. I'm looking at some of these colors on here and they're kind of cool. I see like this really cool olive green one. I don't know that I'd want a Bentley in olive green though, but now that I know what you're talking about, that's actually a little bit more helpful. A Camry is a party car. I won't disagree with you on that one. I want to race my Honda Odyssey. It's a 95. Car races can be a lot of fun. I've always thought that I'd grow up to be a race car driver, but I work in sales, teach Pilates, and I'm working towards my CNA because I actually enjoy helping people. Racing cars can be a lot of fun. I enjoy going to the racetrack and just seeing a lot of different things. So we actually have an upcoming monster truck show. Let's see, we're in June. So basically in like 2 months we have, I'm looking at my calendar behind me, but in about 2 months we have a upcoming monster truck show. And I always do live videos of that. It's a lot of fun. It gets pretty crazy. I try to blow up my engine every time I drive. Might want to be careful. You can blow a head gasket depending on what you're trying to do with your car. Yeah, I just got a new prescription because like about a week or two ago I couldn't see and I was like having double vision and everything was looking bright and colorful, so I got a new pair of glasses and now I can finally see. Although I'm not sure I like the frame. I feel like it kind of takes over too much of my face. I'm used to having a smaller frame, but this was all they had. Got to keep an eye on the time. Got to go get my kids from summer camp soon. Yeah, double vision is no fun because I get these like intense migraines, which if you don't get a migraine, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But like I'll get the double vision and it'll look like a stained glass window that I'm looking through when I get the migraines. And that's if I don't wear my glasses. It kind of sucks. Like I really wish my vision could just be corrected without glasses, but I don't want to get LASIK because LASIK surgery, if you get it, is they say it's permanent, but it's not. Like 6 months later, you'll need glasses again. My aunt got LASIK and 6 months later, she needed glasses again. So she went through all of that of having them burn her inner eye to fix the problem and still needed glasses. Yeah, even medical science with your eye isn't fixed yet. It's not 100% perfect. So that's just like a waste of a lot of money, in my opinion. Might as well just wear glasses until they can perfect LASIK. Giggle smoke? What is that? What time of day is it where everyone's watching? Like right now, it's about 5:06 in the afternoon, my time. Mm. I've never heard it called that. I've heard it called the devil's lettuce, though. I think, see, now that it's legal, it's kind of funny because a lot of people have wasted money on getting their little IDs to make it to where they can carry it on them without getting busted, the cannabis cards. But now they're wasting money since pot's legal. I don't have a problem personally if people smoke it as long as they're not driving while they smoke it, because not everybody knows how to operate a vehicle and, smoke at the same time. They've passed a lot of laws that basically, I don't know if it's just in the United States or if it's everywhere, but basically, if you're caught driving under the influence of marijuana, the devil's lettuce, giggle gas, whatever you want to call it, it's the same as getting a DUI, at least in my area. Excuse me. Which is kind of wild, but I guess not really at the same time because they have a lot of people that, like I said, don't know how to operate a vehicle and smoke. I don't think there's a problem with that. I mean, every once in a while, not all the time. Yes, I'll eat a little edible, or I'll smoke a little bit. I don't see an issue with that. I think people are too uptight in this day and age, and honestly, doing a little bit here and there, totally fine. I don't see it being a gateway drug. I don't see it hindering anyone's ability to be a normal person or anything like that. I see a lot of studies saying basically that, I think there was one where I read about Cheech and Chong, how they were saying that they don't supposedly smoke anymore. I don't believe that. And how basically like marijuana is a gateway drug. I don't know. I don't know that I believe that. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually a drawing that I came up with. It's supposed to be Pika Thor with Viking ruins on the back. And instead of it saying I love you, it says I Thor you. It's about a 6-hour tattoo. I also have another one here. If you are a fan of Pokemon, more Viking ruins. It's a Pokeball. If you can't tell, I like Pokemon. I'm doing good. How are you? How are you doing today? I see some new people in the comments. I like that name, Darkling. It's nice. It's catchy. Oh, yeah, I have another one here too that I designed, if you're into Star Wars. So it's Star Wars and Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. He's supposed to be meditating. It's Yoda. There's actually a funny, not so funny backstory. So the guy who did my tattoo, the one here on my arm, he didn't even really shade it in the way I wanted it to. He just kind of shaded it the way he wanted it to. But he had like feds watching his shop for a minute. Apparently he was a big time drug dealer and he was like selling fentanyl and meth out of his shop when they would close. He would fall asleep like tattooing people, and I guess the guy was having a relationship with like some 14-year-old girl, and so they had to like document this and like catch him. He would have people come in that were like tweaking balls while he was doing my tattoo and my husband's tattoo, and they would try to sell him like speaker systems that they clearly stole and just other stuff. Anyway, the guy ended up in jail. He's not allowed to have a tattoo license. He's not allowed to tattoo anymore at all. I think his name was like Donnie or something like that. Anyway, not a good person. He didn't do my tattoo right. If you actually look closely, you can tell that he messed up the eyes on my tattoo. He messed up the shading. But you know, you don't point that out. all in all, you know, you get what you pay for it. It's not a bad tattoo. I think he charged me like $250 for my tattoo, and I had to sit there for about 6 hours. There was a $50 deposit for the tattoo, so it's not terrible. Although they did charge less for the tattoos that I have on my back. I have a Playboy bunny on this side, and I have like a butterfly on this side, and those were like $60 a piece. So it just depends on where you go as to how much your tattoos are going to cost. But most of the tattoos I sat through anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to do the tattoos, but each person is, with the exception of the two on my back, is a different artist. This one is an artist out of Lorain, Ohio. This tattoo right here is a friend of mine, of my husband's from the military, and that's out of Ohio. This one was done in the area of Redding, California. And then the two tattoos, which if I had someone here, I'd show you the back, were done at Bones Tattoo and Piercing in a town called Santa Rosa, California. So I travel all over to get inked, and I'm not done getting inked because I love tattoos. I actually plan to get a tattoo when I go on vacation here next month of my dog with a fire hat on, because my dog passed away about 2 years ago, and I was going to get a tattoo in his memory. You can never have too many tattoos. Tattoos are sexy. Yes. Yes, I said husband, that's right. Right? You can never have too many tattoos, and each piece is unique and tells its own story, and I really like that. This one right here, if you look, it has Viking ruin on it. So each letter tells a different story if you understand Viking language. Same thing with the tattoo on my arm. It tells, each letter tells a different story in Viking language. Yeah, my dog's name was Harley, so short little backstory. I ended up getting a dog off of Craigslist that I saw that someone didn't want. They were just going to dump it. They drove the dog all the way down to me from like 4 or 5 hours away. I was in like Sonoma County at the time. This was before the Tubbs wildfire burnt down my house. And they drove me the dog, gave them like $60, and I told them I never want to see you again. They dropped off this dog that's a dingo. If you know anything about dingoes, an apartment is not a good place for a dingo because they require a lot of exercise. But I love the crap out of that dog. He was a good dog. They named him Harley, and I just kept that name because, well, I have an obsession with Harley Davidson motorcycles. My dad used to drive all the time before his accident. It didn't paralyze him, but it definitely messed up his back. He was hit by a drunk driver on his Harley, and now he has to wear like a permanent, I don't even know what you call it, but like a permanent thing around his midsection and his back that he has to put on after he showers to be able to walk upright, because essentially he's paralyzed but not totally paralyzed because of the way that the truck hit him on his motorcycle. I'm gonna wrap this up here pretty soon because I have to get going and get my kids from summer camp in about 10-15 minutes. And I still have to factor their drive. Yeah, that is true. I do agree with that. There are lots of goofy people out there, and everyone has their own outlet. Well, I believe that we don't always know the reasons why stuff happens, but, you know, God has his reasoning for why different things happen. I'm just glad that, honestly, that even though my dad was seriously injured, that he's still okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without him. He's like a big old teddy bear, and he's always good for advice and just different things. So I'm just glad that he's still alive. Oh, it was nice for you to join us too in the comments. I hope that you have a great day as well. I like your username. Obviously, I know that's not your real name, but I like your username. That's a unique one. I've never heard that one before. What made you decide on that username, Darkling? Sounds like something out of anime, which, by the way, I love anime. Good question. NM68. First tattoo ever. It's probably going to be the one on my back, and that's a butterfly tattoo. And it has significant meaning. So after my friend, my very, very best friend in the entire world ever died, his name was Dustin Gibbs, and I really cared a lot about him. We would go do photography together. So my very first tattoo ever is the one on my back, which I really can't show you because of the angle of my camera. That'll be another video for another time, but it's a monarch butterfly to symbolize new life, and also to symbolize that my friend died, and he's here but not forgotten, because I believe butterflies represent new life. Electric Swifty, hello. Good of you to join us. How's your day going? The piercing in my lip was kind of like a bad choice that I made when I was like 16. So it's just kind of in here, but I'm getting ready to take it out. As I was saying before, don't get these, because when you do, I don't know if you can see that gap here, right here. So over time, this will rub on your teeth, which they don't tell you when you get the piercings, and it causes a gap in your teeth that can not be fixed, and it also wears down the enamel. So I'm getting ready to actually remove that this week. I'm not going to go back to the shop because the shop wants to charge me like $80 to sterilize equipment and take this out. It actually has an opening. It basically, essentially, looks like a jump ring for jewelry, and then you just pull it open. So I'm going to be taking that out this week because it's not really professional for what I do. Yeah, the only piercings that I actually recommend getting are basically ear piercings. I don't know if you can see that one. I got it. So I got this last year for my birthday. It's surgical steel. It's hypoallergenic because I can't wear nickel, I can't wear lead, can't wear copper. And then I can't wear sterling silver either. I break out from it all. Most people actually don't know, fun fact, that unless you get something that is 100% silver, if it's sterling silver or S925, it's not full silver. It's actually mixed with nickel, aluminum, and other crap. And that's what causes most people to have an allergic reaction. I don't have to worry about that. He was okay with my piercing when I got it. But yeah, I'm getting ready to take it out. Just like I said, it's just not really appropriate for the kind of work that I do. And as you get older, the piercings just, they don't look as attractive. Yeah, that's why I said I gotta go wrap this up here in a few minutes, because I gotta go to summer camp and get my kids. They're only day summer camps. They don't have full, like, all summer long camps, like where they can stay there. I don't know. I guess every area is different with that. Anybody in the comments have tattoos? If so, when did you get your first tattoo and where did you go to get it? I'm just curious kind of what other people think about tattoos. You know, since we're on the subject of talking about tattoos, let me talk about stigmas. I think it's funny because there's hella stigmas around tattoos, and some of the nicest people that I know are people with tattoos. But yeah, everyone says, oh, you're going to ruin your life getting a tattoo. You're going to trash your life getting a tattoo. You're not going to get a job getting a tattoo because it's unprofessional. Yes, about maybe 5-10 years ago, It used to be if you had tattoos going down your arm, you couldn't even get hired at a place like Red Lobster. You couldn't get hired as a server. You couldn't get hired unless you were working in the back of a kitchen. Same thing with like Outback Steakhouse, but in the last 10 years, a lot of these rules have changed. And so people can now have tattoos. They just can't have them all over their face and like ears and neck. They do have some rules, but you can still have tattoos and get a job. Tattoos aren't trashy. They aren't cringy. They're beautiful. The body is, you know, basically its own canvas, and putting a little art on it never hurt anybody. I have a tattoo. I have a lion on my back. Nice. Does it take up your whole back, or is it just like a small tattoo? What kind of tattoos do you have, Patrick? 33. It helps with mental illness, rather get tatted than cut. What do you mean by that? Prime prepper? I'm not sure I understand that statement. I don't know, each tattoo that I get is not just a random tattoo, but it has a significant meaning. Your whole upper back, nice. Is it in color or is it a black and white tattoo? I know a lot of people will get tattoos, and tattoos are depicting like mental illness, or tattoos signify different memories. Like each tattoo that I have like just signifies something different. Like my Star Wars Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, it signifies my obsession, one with classical music, like vintage music, like Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, and also my love of Star Wars. But if you also look at this, the hidden detail is his palms are up and he's meditating. I don't know if you can see that. Because I practice Buddhism, so I meditate a lot. I don't believe in religion, but I am open about spirituality and energy, hence my tattoo in the story. It's colored, but I am black, so it doesn't look colored. Well, that makes sense, so it kind of blends in with your skin. If y'all are interested, I do post videos as well on my TikTok. It's Exploring with Ash and Jake YouTube on TikTok as well. It's the same thing. We're also on Facebook, and we have a Facebook page as well, same name, Exploring with Ash and Jake on YouTube. That's our Facebook channel, and we're also, like I said, on TikTok. And I do post random videos all the time about different topics and things that I'm passionate about. Got my first tattoo at 15 with my mother. I suffer with a lot of mental health, so I used to cut as a young teenager, so when I was old enough, started getting tattoos. You know, that does make sense. I can completely relate to that. My mom actually made me see a counselor when I was younger because I had an issue with body dysmorphia, and I would cut myself. I actually have scars on my arms and on my legs that most people can't see unless they're looking at it in the light. I had a real big body issue, and I was never like a big girl or anything like that. I was actually always on the smaller side, but I still never liked my body, and so I used to cut myself. So I understand where you're coming from. The tattoos make sense though. Yeah, I recently seen, I think it was Los Angeles, so Southern California, which is about 13 hours away from me, that they're having a lot of protesting going on because the president, who wants to play dress up and put a little crown on and act like he's doing what's best for this country, is deporting people all of a sudden because they have brown skin. They must be foreign and not American, and so they're getting deported to countries that they've never even lived in. That's wild to me, and it's frustrating, and that's what I think about that. I'm frustrated. I think that this president is an absolute moron, but I won't go deeply into politics because I don't want to offend anyone. I respect everyone's right to vote for whoever they want to. But no, thank God this person can only run, you know, X amount of terms before he's done in office. But you know, every president that we've had in office, somebody's had a problem with them. I mean, remember when we had Barack Obama in office and people were voting for Mickey Mouse and Ombre the gorilla? That was a really sad year for elections. But also, he's been caught in countless lies, this new president. Lie after lie after lie. And they just keep revealing themselves, and he's not even saying anything that's even remotely true, or he's telling half-truths. So if you're telling a half-truth, that's still a lie. It's still not the same thing as the truth. There's not no your side, my side, you know, whatever. There's only one side to the story, and that's the truth. And the truth is that this person is basically tearing apart our country. I don't drink milk. Milk gives me gut issues. I will say something, though, that is interesting, which they do have a couple studies on. Fun fact, did you know, people who drink breast milk, not that this is a topic that I should be having, but you know what? I'll indulge you. Breast milk actually has a lot of vitamins in it, so if you're sick, it's actually very good for your immunity and your immune system. A lot of people actually will take breast milk when they're done breastfeeding their kids, and they'll turn it into soap, which can help with allergic reactions and skin disorders. I'm assuming that's what you meant. I can't have milk, though. I'm dairy intolerant. It does not agree well with me. I can't even have soy milk either. That doesn't agree with me either. I just don't drink milk. Milk is, ugh. Milk tastes like I'm trying to eat a dirty sock. Did that answer your question, Emmanuel, about what I think about the protest in America? There's a lot of different protests going on, so you might want to be more specific. Are you talking about what's going on in like Israel or Palestine, or are you talking about the protesting that's going on in LA? Oh, I am gonna have to end this live feed. It looks like my friend just texted me that she went to go get my kids from daycare early, so there must be some kind of early day. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live feed, and I will see you all in our next live tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Hey, baby. Oh, that's very pretty. Well, it's hot out. Hi.
Mom, I made you a...
Hey, don't put that on the cat.
I made it pretty.
Oh, what are these? Hi. Come in, close the door with the ears on.
She lighted mine.
Okay. I was just about to end the live feed, but I'll show you. They came home and drew me a picture. Isn't that cute? It's their footprint. It's their footprint turned into a rocket. Isn't that cute?
Hmm?
The daycare lady always does fun stuff. You want to say hi?
Who is it?
It's the live stream that Mom does for her channel. Say hi. America, land of the free. You mean America? Yeah, I more like land of the not so free, especially with all the tariffs and everything becoming harder to keep up with the cost of living and whatnot. No, thank you. Don't do that. Uh-oh. Got caught in my watch.
Comment down below. Right here.
Okay, don't be so loud. You know, people who have their phone up close to them, that can hurt their ears. Everybody wants to come in and say hi right now. I was just about to end the live stream.
Pineapple poo.
Sometimes kids will say the darndest things and they don't make any sense. I don't know what she meant by pineapple poo. Hi. You say hi?
I want the purple. Hi. Why? Who are you talking to, Mom?
It's the live stream for Mom's channel. She just asked me who I was talking to.
Hey,
They're all the same. They're all the same.
Dad, can I have chocolate milk, please?
Family is the best. Yes, it is. I'm always in the mood for a joke, as long as it's appropriate.
Get on my face.
Hey, be nice.
You don't need them right now.
Be nice. What kind of joke you got for me?
Why did the chicken not so loud?
No, not you. You always have jokes for me. The person down here has a joke for me in the comments.
But he broke the road. The chicken broke it.
The chicken crossed the road.
Yeah, and he broke the road because the chicken was so big.
I don't what? Oh, why don't scientists trust atoms? Ooh, I love a good science joke. This reminds me of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. If you love The Big Bang Theory, let me know in the comments. I love Sheldon, Sheldon Cooper. This seems like a joke he would tell. I don't know, why? This is definitely a joke I've not heard before. I'm waiting to see what the punchline of the joke is. I love a good science joke.
I have the same glasses as Emma and someone
You
else.
have the same glasses as Emma?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you ended up getting a circus cookie? Okay.
They're the same thing. Look, they're double cookies.
Are they stuck together?
Yeah.
Apparently
see,
she
they're
wants you
double
guys to
cookies.
see her circus animal cookies.
Mom, can I get one?
Yes, you can.
I only got one.
Okay, watch out.
Two.
You're gonna step on your brother.
I got four because they're double.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna hold this really quick?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I gotta get your brother
Hi.
up. Okay. Let me get big boy up here. Oh, okay.
Mama.
Okay. Okay. All right, we got big boy up here. Hi. Mwah. Okay, we're not doing that on live. We have to wait till I get off live for that. Hi. 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 I was waiting for his punchline, but
Hello, chicken pox. Chicken pox, chicken pox.
Hey.
Whoever has chicken pox is out.
not appropriate.
Okay, give me the cookies
Chicken
now.
pox.
That's enough.
So what was the punchline to your joke? I don't see it down here.
We can show it. Yay! Lavender! What?
Why don't scientists
can
trust
try it.
atoms? I was waiting for the...
We get to
punchline.
share. I'm taking
Hey, that's too many cookies.
No, that's salmon.
You're gonna end up with a tummy ache. I can't even tell what some of these shapes are, but you know what?
Mom has to wipe.
I dropped the cookie. Here. They're not bad.
And I
I like
have the
animal
purple.
circus cookies.
Wait, I have the pinks. And take it two white.
So what's the punchline to your joke? I was still waiting for that.
Hi everybody. What are you doing, chicken boing?
Not appropriate.
Hi.
Okay.
Half sweet potato. Half sweet potato.
Yeah, things get kind of crazy. Welcome to the zoo that just walked in. Genevieve.
What?
Nobody wants to hear that song. Hey, that's empty, sweetheart. It had water in it. That's empty. Hey, Jacob, will you empty this into the fridge? There's a container in the fridge. No, Genevieve, don't do that because if the bottom pops off, sweetheart, you're going to spill milk everywhere. Okay? You're going to spill the baby's milk. Ah! You're going to spill the baby's milk.
I did it good. Yum, 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 yum.
So what's everyone got going on today and for this summer? Anybody got any special plans?
Oh, I do.
Yes, we know we have special plans. I'm asking everyone else.
What are you guys doing today? Going to the park with your kid?
Are you guys, anybody getting ready to get new ink done for the summer? Like new tattoos, new piercings, a new haircut? What's everybody got going on? Gonna go travel?
Getting your lips done?
Genevieve.
Getting the nails done? Or your toenails?
She likes to be funny. I haven't gotten a pedicure or a manicure done in years just because they don't sterilize equipment. Okay. Hey, no, stay away from Mom's computer, please. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, my timer just went off for that too. Getting ready to make a lasagna for dinner.
Hello, we're gonna eat cookies today. Only cookies.
Traveling to Japan. What area in Japan? Japan is a really, really nice area, and they have really colorful and interesting insects from what I was just recently reading. That is on my places to go list, like my bucket list, I guess you could say. Please stop.
Hey, you're cold, you're cold, you're cold. Cold head.
Stop. Stop, please.
No, they don't do that. Off the video. Off the video.
So what are you planning on doing in Japan? Are you going for travel or are you going for work?
Help me.
Business or pleasure for Japan? Because there's a lot to do in Japan. World of Nintendo. Is that like a theme park? Or what is that? Yeah, when I visit some places, some of it's for business related to work, or some of it's just related to pleasure. I like to go have fun and explore. Make videos for my YouTube channel, TikTok. Also, I just really enjoy traveling and like photographing places, videoing places. You never know what you're gonna find out. Never know what you're gonna see. God, my allergies are killing me today. Like every summer, it's either the heat because it gets up to like 120 degrees here, or my regular yearly allergies that seem to happen since moving back to this area. So there is something, you should look it up on Amazon if you have a computer. It's called a fish eye lens. And so what it is they're little camera lenses that magnetically connect to the back of your cell phone, and they allow you to take good pictures like as if you had a regular expensive like $300-400 camera. I only know this because my mom has it, and they sell it as a whole set, and you get like I think 7 or 8 different lenses, as well as like tinting glass and other things like that, and they sell it on Amazon, and I think it's about $150-200. It depends because their prices fluctuate. But yeah, look up fisheye lens. or magnetic camera lenses for iPhone or whatever phone you have. I'm not sure what you mean by shrimping. Is that like a term for fishing? Welcome, new people. I don't go fishing. The reason why I don't go fishing, I actually have a gnarly scar about this big on my lower back because when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my dad decided to teach me how to go fishing, and I mistakenly went to put the pole behind me like this and then whip it forward to cast out the line, and I was like, oh, I got a big one, I got a big one, thinking I'm reeling in the fish. I had dug the fishing hook 6 or 7 inches into my skin. He had to cut the line, take me to the hospital to have the fishing hook removed from my back surgically. So I don't go fishing, but I do watch people fish. I'm not against it. I just don't personally like doing that. I caught a little fish after the 2nd or 3rd try, though. After I got out of the hospital, I went back to fish again, and then I caught a little fish that looked like Dory from Finding Nemo. But no, it just kind of scarred me for life when I saw the fish on the hook. So I don't, besides getting hurt, I just don't like fishing. I think it's a little bit cruel, but that's just me. Yeah, I'll never forget that, though. The scar on my back will not let me forget that fishing expedition. But I still like to go out and explore and bird watch, go swimming, collect shells, collect sea glass, travel, do other wild and reckless things. See, the most recently fun, exciting thing that we did was we went to a, oh God, I'm gonna mess up on the title of it. Like why I'm blanking on the word, but we went to a festival, like a medieval type festival, Renaissance fair. That's the word I'm looking for, Renaissance fair. And they were jousting, they were fencing, they were telling corny jokes, they were selling different things. It was kind of cool. Tickets were a little bit pricey, but it was a lot of fun. People come and they dress up. One of my favorite characters is TV Head, and it's this guy that goes around the festival and he just wears a giant TV on his head that doesn't work. Don't know how he sees out of it, but it's a lot of fun, and we go every year. This is our 2nd or 3rd year going to the Renaissance Fair. Hello, welcome. I always say, like, if you're gonna buy something, buy off of Amazon, because they have a money back guarantee. Like, if you buy off of like Temu, it is very hard to get your money back from those websites because they're based out of China. And it's nothing against China or Japan. It's just very hard to get your money back. And oftentimes the crap you get versus what you ordered are not the same. Same thing with like Shein and all these other websites that basically steal real artist artwork or creations. It's kind of warm out today. It was only supposed to be like 72 today, and it's already up to 90, but not as hot as yesterday. It gets up to about 120 degrees here in the summer, which is usually unbearable. Right now it's sunny, but it's overcast, which most of the day it hasn't been. What's the weather like where everyone else is? Hey, why do you have my security light?
I want to know how I'm sorry.
That's a security light for when I go to work.
But I want to know how you turn it on.
You don't want to shine that in your eye or you're gonna go blind.
How do you turn it on?
We're not gonna turn that on right now because I don't have extra batteries for that.
When it's nighttime, can you?
What'd you do?
Nothing.
When you say nothing, I know that ain't true. Did you draw on something with my pen?
Look.
Okay.
And look at my whole body. Look at my whole body.
She likes to grab my pens and draw on stuff that she shouldn't.
She found it in the car.
No, that was inside the house.
It was a different. Can I play out here?
It rained the last 2 days.
I'm gonna go play out here.
What area did you live in that it was raining? Oh, it's been hot as heck here.
Mom, can we go swimming?
Louisiana. Oh, yes. My grandpa always used to tell me that they make really good gumbo in Louisiana. I love a good gumbo. Detroit? Nice. What part? I used to live in Detroit, Michigan long time ago, back in like the early 2000s.
Mom, I saw a motorcycle.
It gets kind of cold there.
What are you doing?
Sorry, my kids love to talk to everybody.
What you doing? I'm asking, what are you doing?
I suppose if I came to Louisiana, I'd definitely be eating a lot of crawfish. I really love crawfish. I like a lot of real good like home cooked meals, stuff made from scratch. Are you, is Dearborn, like as in Dearborn, Ohio? Or do you mean like another area?
Come on, dinner's on the table.
Is the lasagna cooled down enough? Okay.
For Maverick, not yet, but it's on his tray.
Hey, princess, lasagna's ready. We're gonna go in and have dinner, okay?
But after, can we go to the pool?
We'll talk about that.
Please.
We'll talk
Or
about that.
can we play with
We'll
the
talk about that after
slime?
because I still have to go. Remember, and I have to take your tablet back because they sent it to us cracked. Yeah, fun fact. I ordered my kids a tablet for our travels off of Amazon, and they sent it to me, and it was broken. So I'm hassling with them to try to send it back because I can't even use it. They sent it to me, and they throw your packages when they deliver them. They don't even deliver them with care. South Africa.
After breakfast, can we go to the pool?
Not breakfast. We're doing dinner. Dinner.
And then
Okay,
after
we can
dinner-
talk about that after we eat dinner, okay? Because I still have to go to the UPS store, okay?
Okay.
Okay, can you go inside and get ready for dinner? Go wash your hands since you touched the outside. I'll be in 2
No.
seconds, okay?
I found a pencil and I
Come here.
touched it.
Come here. You have like toothpaste or something on your mouth.
That's nothing.
Oh, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Yes, I forgot that there is a Dearborn in Michigan.
Blame it.
You know, I used to live in the Detroit area and attend Clawson Middle School. So Michigan is a very nice area, although when it's cold, it's really cold. And when it's warm, it's warm. That's what I will say that I remember about living there. Aw.
Oh, to the pool.
You dropped something. My neighbor brought home a new baby. I live in California. Northern California. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this live because my husband has to actually drive about 4 hours away because he's got some military related stuff going on this weekend. And so I'm gonna wrap it up so we can eat dinner as a family. But I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us. Don't forget, you can check us out on Facebook. We're on Exploring with Ash and Jake YouTube on Facebook. And then it's the same thing if you check us out on TikTok and decide to follow us. I will be back tomorrow doing another open live where you can ask questions and we can kind of talk about whatever. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day and a lovely summer. And I will see you all in our next live. Peace, love, and Stardust. Bye.